A very good morning and welcome to the Breakfast News on Rajya Sabha television. My name is Aishwarya Kapoor and here are this morning's headlines. Centre says no plans to deploy army to tackle problem of Naxalism. Says it is a law and order problem. Paramilitary and police will continue to deal with it. TTV Dinakaran arrested in Election Commission bribery case held by the Delhi police after questioning for nearly 6 hours on Tuesday. Vice President Mohammad Hamid Ansari holds talks with the Armenian leadership. 3 agreements signed, including training Armenian scientists as part of a space cooperation. Counting for municipal corporation elections in Delhi, results to be known for 272 seats that witnessed a triangular contest. And US President's big campaign promise, the border wall appears to stall. Trump backs away from demand to include its funding as part of a budget measure. Well, big story coming in from Delhi, where counting of votes for the municipal corporation elections in Delhi is underway at the moment. The polling on 23rd of April witnessed a triangular fight between the BJP, the Congress and the Aam Aadmi Party. Now remember, polling was held in 270 of the 272 wards of the 3 municipal corporations. The election to 2 wards has been postponed due to the death of the candidates there. A voting turnout of nearly 54% was registered. Now, counting is being carried out at 35 counting centres set up for the process. The BJP, which is seeking to retain the turf it has held for the last 10 years, has fielded fresh faces in 267 wards. The Congress has fielded 271 candidates and the Aam Aadmi Party fielded candidates in all the 272 wards. All right, to get the latest updates from the national capital, we have 3 reporters joining us. First, we go across to Pranav Goswami, who's joining us live from Nizamuddin at the moment. A very good morning, Pranav. It is going to be a very crucial day in Delhi Municipal Corporation. Results are going to be out today. And, looking at all the 3 parties that especially our main parties that are in the fray, BJP looking to continuing its winning streak, Aam struggling to keep its charm alive in the national capital, and the Congress hoping for a fresh lease of life.
Yeah, Shore, you are absolutely right, and you rightly said that this is going to be one of the most interesting battle in the capital. Before I tell you something about the political significance of this election, let me show you some visuals. You can see that security is very tight in this counting centers, and adequate number of security personnel have been deployed. Apart from Delhi police, paramilitary forces are also have been deployed in all counting centers. As far as this result is concerned, this election is concerned, we know that if BJP wins in this election, that will prove that Modi's magic, Prime Minister Narendra Modi's magic, is working in Delhi also. If Aam Aadmi Party loses this election, that would be a huge setback for Arvind Kejriwal. We know that around 2 years back, when Arvind Kejriwal won 67 seats out of 70 seats in Delhi, everybody got surprised. That was indeed a huge victory for Arvind Kejriwal. But now we can say that Arvind Kejriwal have started facing the anti-incumbency factor, and the biggest example is Rajouri Gardens by-election result, where Aam Aadmi Party lost its seat. As far as Congress is concerned, if Congress does well in this election, if Congress is able to improve its vote share, that will be a complete revival for Congress. Congress, the party which ruled Delhi for 15 years.
Yes.
So we'll have to see, we'll have to wait, and that when the results will be coming up, that how interesting this is going to be.
All right, a very interesting contest here. Let's also go across to two other colleagues of ours who are joining us live. We have Ravindra Singh Shiron joining us live from Akshardham. We also have Anu Diwan with us, who is joining us live from Kashmiri Gate. Anu, if I could come to you first, because you've been covering the Aam Aadmi Party for a very long time now, and exit polls have predicted a complete rout for the Aam Aadmi Party. And this polling was not without its share of controversy as well, because Arvind Kejriwal underlined that only the faulty EVMs could be the reason if the exit polls prove to be true.
Yeah, Aishwarya, definitely the exit poll predicted that Aam Aadmi Party may lose this election. But when we have seen these election, covering these election, that agenda which Aam Aadmi Party has said were not only the issues relating to the MCD, but Arvind Kejriwal and party focus more on EVMs, more on Narendra Modi. Then later he stopped taking Narendra Modi's name in his campaigning, but he did not leave his campaign against EVM machines. After the exit polls came, Arvind Kejriwal called up an observers meet at his residence and said that he will begin with the protests relating to EVMs if the exit polls are right.
Yes.
So the focus of Aam Aadmi Party in the whole of this election campaigning was only on EVMs. Rather, they have focused on the issues relating to the MCD polls, because it is also, Aishwarya, this was also important for Aam Aadmi Party, because they know that this is the referendum for their 2 years work in Delhi.
Yes.
So they have to, they were to check their whether they have worked for the public, has the public accepted their work or not. This was the only election which they can see, but they diverted whole of the election to the EVMs.
Absolutely. Let's also go across to Ravindra Singh Shiran. Ravindra, as Anu was telling us how EVM issue has become a very big issue, but speaking about the BJP, it is facing a decade-long anti-incumbency in the municipal corporations. And, if it emerges winner this time, it would mean that, that gamble of removing all the sitting councillors really helped for the party.
Yeah, that's a good morning, Aishwarya. That's a very important thing, as you're saying, that all the sitting councillors has been denied ticket in this election. This is a very important step which has been taken by the 10 years ruling BJP. And if the BJP will be able to win this election, it will be a very sweet revenge for the BJP, which has seen a rout in the last election in the 2015 assembly elections. BJP will also be very Pollyannic if they will be able to win this election. Then it is another affirmation of the Modi wave, which is going on all through the country in the recent assembly elections which we have seen. Yes. Also, the Aam Aadmi Party is the same party who could manage to stop the victory chariot of Narendra Modi in the last 2015 assembly elections. Despite this and the Bihar election, BJP could manage to win almost all the assembly elections which held after 2014.
Yes.
MCD election, this is one of the most important elections, has been considered because only the Aam Aadmi Party, which has been ruling in Delhi for the last 2 years, as my colleagues has rightly pointed out,
right,
it is considered to be a referendum. Also, the Aam Aadmi Party would like to make a comeback, as it has seen recently 2 successive debacles, in not only in the assembly elections of Goa and Punjab, and also successively they have seen one more debacle in Delhi's Garden assembly poll,
so the
by-election.
All right, so the counting of
Congress
votes,
party, which is trying to make a comeback, and they are. The counting of vote is going to start at 8 o'clock in the morning. It has already started. First,
yes,
the ballot papers will be counted and posted. After that, the first round of trains will be started coming in after 8:30 in the morning. Huge police force has been deployed here in almost all the counting centers, and all the eyes today are on the MCD polls.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Ravindra, as well as Anu Diwan and Pranav Goswami for joining us this morning. So the counting of votes for the MCD corporations has begun. And so the big question is, will Arvind Kejriwal's Aam Aadmi Party really be able to stop Modi wave again? That is one big story that we'll keep looking through the day. But remember, in these elections, the issue of EVM tampering was also raised. And now a parliamentary committee has also decided to study the functioning of EVMs and has invited suggestions from the experts as well as people. Now, this comes as several political parties have raised questions on the fallibility of the machines. The Parliamentary Standing Committee on Law and Personnel will study the functioning of the electronic voting machines and its upgradation as part of the electoral reforms. The panel, headed by Congress leader Anand Sharma, has now invited suggestions in writing from various stakeholders. Various opposition parties have also raised doubts over the reliability of the AVMs after the BJP's massive victory in Uttar Pradesh recently. Now, following Aam Aadmi Party's poor performance in the Punjab Assembly polls, the Delhi Chief Minister and party convener Arvind Kejriwal had alleged that the EVMs may have been manipulated. The Election Commission has decided to throw an open challenge for the people to hack the EVMs to put all the doubts to rest. On to some other news now. TTV Dinakaran, the AIADMK Amma leader, has been arrested by the Delhi police. The arrest comes after 4 days of questioning in the case relating to an alleged attempt to bribe the Election Commission officials to get the undivided AIADMK's two leaves election symbol for his faction. He was arrested after 6 hours of questioning at the crime branch office in Delhi. His longtime friend Mallikarjuna was also arrested for allegedly facilitating the deal between him and Sukesh Chandrasekhar, who is the middleman in the case. Now, Chandrasekhar was arrested on 16th of April for allegedly striking a deal of 50 crore rupees to help the AIADMK Amma faction to keep this poll symbol. The trio will now be questioned altogether. After initially denying that he had met Chandrasekhar, Dinakaran had on Tuesday said that he indeed met him, assuming that he was a High Court judge. The arrest comes amid moves to merge the two rival factions of the erstwhile AIADMK, led by O. Selvam and Chief Minister E.K. Palanisamy.
He has been arrested. Tomorrow at 2 o'clock he will be produced. We will be moving a bail application.
तो दिनकरन साथ और कौन कौन है?
दो लोगों की गिरफ्तारी हुई है। कल 2 बजे हम बेल एप्लीकेशन मूव करेंगे।
ठीक है।
और पुलिस जब रिमांड पे लेके जाएगी तब वहाँ पे हम आर्ग्यू करेंगे।
No, it's evident now that the leadership what they had chosen is not able to withstand to the requirements of the cadres as well as to the people. And the act of such magnitude trying to bribe the election commission has definitely brought a huge disrepute to the party. And now I think the senior members, the party cadres and everybody would realize that this party at this juncture need a strong leadership and to do the good things what our beloved leader Amma had left us.
Law has taken its course. Whoever have done the mistake, they should be punished. They are all are blaming BJP for this activity, but they have done a mistake. It again proves that money plays a very major role in Tamil Nadu politics. They want to buy the votes, they want to buy the symbol, and they want to buy the victory. That is the scenario which is prevalent in Tamil Nadu. So there should be a full stop for such corrupt activities, particularly corrupt activities in the electoral process. So they have done a mistake. There are evidence for that, for what they have done, and based on that evidence, he has been arrested.
Now, the CBI has registered a corruption case against its former director Ranjit Sinha for allegedly trying to influence the coal block allocation cases. Ranjit Sinha is the second CBI chief to be booked by the agency in 2017. Action against him came after the Supreme Court directed the agency to constitute a special investigation team to look into the allegations against him. The court said that there was a prima facie material in the allegation of inappropriate conduct by the 64-year-old. The CBI had allegedly uncovered that several accused in the coal block allocation scam case were regular visitors to his house. The Supreme Court said that Sinha's meeting with the accused people without the investigating office or the probe team present was completely inappropriate. The court also said it was necessary to find out whether the meetings impacted the investigations and final reports which were submitted by the CBI in this matter. The CBI has registered 54 FIRs in the coal scam against various persons. Now, the centre has said that it has no plans to deploy the army to tackle the problem of Naxals despite reverses being faced by paramilitary and police forces. The Ministry of Home Affairs said that the Naxal violence was a law and order problem and therefore paramilitary and police forces will continue to deal with the issue. Home Minister Rajnath Singh directed acting chief of the CRPF and a top security officer to stay put in Chhattisgarh to ensure coordinated targeted operations against the Naxals. Now, in the latest incidents of Naxal violence, 25 CRPF personnel were killed in an attack in Chhattisgarh Sukma district on Sunday. Police said that the attack was likely planned and executed by a local Naxal commander who was reportedly camping in the area for the last few days. According to officials, dreaded Naxal commander Situ was camping at Tademitla village where the ambush took place on Sunday. He was supported by local Rang cadres and militia members. News from Jammu and Kashmir, and amidst spiralling student protests and unrest in the valley, now Chief Minister Mehbooba Mufti on Tuesday chaired a meeting of the unified headquarters. In the high-level meeting, Mufti discussed the security situation in the valley with the top brass of the army, police, paramilitary personnel and other security agencies. She directed the security agencies to undertake youth counselling sessions and asked them to exercise maximum restraint in dealing with the protests. The meeting was held a day after the Chief Minister discussed the situation in the Kashmir Valley with the Prime Minister Narendra Modi and Home Minister Rajnath Singh. Remember, the Kashmir Valley is in the grip of increased violence due to student unrest coupled with militant activities. Security forces there are under intense pressure with almost daily protests and stone pelting, especially by the students there. And now look at the events that are lined up for the day in the day ahead. President Pranab Mukherjee will be in Hyderabad today to attend the Osmania University's centenary celebrations and also attend the first convocation of the English and Foreign Languages University. Telangana Governor ESL Narasimhan and Chief Minister K. Chandrasekhar Rao will also be present at the events. After Bihar and Telangana, Rajasthan is likely to pass the state GST bill today. Revenue Secretary Hans Mukadia has said that 14 state legislatures are expected to approve their respective state goods and services tax law by mid of May. All the states are to pass their respective SGST by May end to ensure the smooth rollout of the GST regime by July this year. The Supreme Court will today hear the plea challenging the government's move to make Aadhaar card mandatory. Earlier on Friday, the Apex Court had expressed its displeasure over the centre's move to make Aadhaar mandatory. In response, Attorney General Mukul Rohtgi told the Apex Court that they have found that a number of PAN cards are being used to divert funds to shell companies. The SEBI board will hold its first meeting under the chairmanship of Ajay Tyagi, who took charge on 1st of March this year. The board will discuss the stricter norms to check any flow of black money into the stock market through controversy-ridden P-notes, as well as initiate steps to allow mutual fund investments via e-wallets. And in Breakfast News, we'll take a very short break. We'll be right back.
Make this country into a Congress Mukt Bharat. Are you going to resort to the same strategy where you'll be breaching the fortresses of other parties?
Congress is a culture. We have to get rid of that culture.
RSS will be emboldened now with the kind of mandate which BJP has got, and they will try and impose a Hindutva agenda. Does it really isolate the minorities, especially the Muslims?
All those who have been talking like this, they have always tried to disturb the secular character of this country.
Health policy also talks about increased spending, about 2% of the GDP. That figure is insufficient.
These are all wrong notions. We have to increase the capacity to spend.
Watch To The Point with Union Health Minister Jagat Prakash Nadda only on Rajya Sabha television.
Welcome back after the break. India and Armenia on Tuesday signed 3 agreements after Vice President Mohammad Hamid Ansari held bilateral discussions with Armenian Prime Minister Karin Karapetyan in Yerevan. The two nations also underscored the need for enhanced connectivity and liberalized visa regime. As India and Armenia boast of promising ties of friendship, Vice President Mohammad Hamid Ansari's bilateral meeting with the top Armenian leadership on Tuesday gave new impetus to the centuries-long India-Armenian friendly relations. The two countries signed a memorandum of understanding on peaceful uses of outer space, cooperation in youth affairs, and a program of cultural cooperation. Renewed focus on connectivity assumed paramount importance, while cooperation in agriculture, broadcasting, and the pharma sector was also agreed upon.
It is also a member of the Eurasian Economic Union. It has very close relationships with Europe and therefore it can, by connecting through Armenia, actually India connects through the EU as well as Europe as well as Iran. So that was a very important point that was emphasized. And in that context, I think connectivity became a very important element, where it was agreed that we must definitely have more discussions for cooperation in opening up civil aviation sectors. Maybe direct flights would be the best way, and liberalizing of visa regimes between our two countries, for that will certainly enhance greater tourism traffic.
Armenia has invited Indian companies to invest in jewelry, watchmaking and precious stones processing activities. Armenia's association with the Eurasian Economic Union is also expected to allow India easy access to these markets. Armenia has also promised to roll out the red carpet for the Indian film industry.
They said that they have opened free economic zones where it would be easy for Indian investments, and they said that Indian investors would be welcome to establish their offices here. And there was also talk of holding a business meeting in the course of this year as we celebrate our 25th anniversary.
The two countries emphasized on the need to tackle the scourge of terrorism. Vice President Ansari also conveyed to the Armenian president the message of President Pranab Mukherjee with the invitation to conduct an official visit to India to discuss the agenda of the Armenian-Indian cooperation. Vice President Ansari also visited the Seet-Sam Akabad Memorial to pay tribute to the memory of the Armenian genocide victims.
India and Armenia have shared historical and civilizational ties. Vice President Ansari's visit and host of accords would only instill new vigor in the bilateral ties. More importantly, focus on enhanced connectivity and liberalized visa regime would also unleash a new chapter in the India-Armenia relations. Reporting from Yerevan, with camera persons Sanjay and Anirban, and with inputs from Amrita Rai, I'm Kriti Mishra for Rajya Sabha Television.
And Sri Lankan Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe will hold a meeting with Prime Minister Narendra Modi in the national capital today at the Hyderabad House. Now, India and Sri Lanka are all set to finalize the joint mechanism for the development of the Trincomalee port. Well, a petroleum refinery will also be established near this port. And this Trincomalee is the Tamil-inhabited area of Sri Lanka, and the move is expected to increase the employment for local Tamils in the area to a large extent.
Sri Lankan Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe arrived in Delhi on Tuesday on a working visit to India. His talks with Prime Minister Narendra Modi on Wednesday are expected to focus on the regional situation and the fishermen issue. An MOU for the joint development of the Trincomalee port is also scheduled to be signed.
26th April will be the main day of his official engagements in New Delhi. Our Prime Minister will be hosting a luncheon meeting with His Excellency Mr. Ranil Wickremesinghe on the 26th of April. External Affairs Minister, the Minister of Home Affairs and the Minister for Road Transport and Highways and Shipping will be calling on the visiting Sri Lankan dignitary. The visit of the Prime Minister of Sri Lanka to India from 25th April is part of our continuing engagement with the government of Sri Lanka at the highest level.
Wickremesinghe will also meet Union Home Minister Rajnath Singh and Shipping Minister Nitin Gadkari. External Affairs Minister Sushma Swaraj will also meet him. At a time when China is trying to encroach on India's traditional space in the island nation, the visit of Sri Lankan Prime Minister also shows the increasing communication and also the significance that both countries attach to each other. The Prime Minister Modi is also slated to visit Sri Lanka next month. Akhilesh Suman's report for Rajya Sabha TV.
On to some international news now. The centerpiece of Donald Trump's election campaign, US-Mexico border wall, has stalled. Well, this after Trump backed away from a demand that Congress include the funding for its planned border wall with Mexico in a spending bill. A president's close advisor said that the funding for the wall will be left out of the budget measure that must pass by Friday. The development comes after Democrats threatened to block the bill if money was earmarked for the wall. Though the Republicans control both the chambers of Congress, the current spending bill will need 60 votes to clear the 100-member Senate, where Republicans hold only 52 seats. But the president insisted that he still supported the wall and that it would be built. He reportedly told a private meeting with the media that he might be open to funding the wall later in the year. However, Mexico continues to talk tough on the wall, saying that it won't let US build the wall.
Principio de manera pública y explícita hemos transmitido al gobierno de los Estados Unidos que para México es un asunto no negociable. Las remesas no solamente son un flujo de divisas desde el punto de vista macroeconómico, sino, como lo sabemos todos, es un sustento fundamental para muchas familias, particularmente de bajos ingresos, muchas de ellas en el medio rural.
The wall's going to get built, folks. Just in case anybody has any question, the wall's going to get built, and the wall is going to stop drugs, and it's going to stop a lot of people from coming in that shouldn't be here, and it's going to have a huge effect on human trafficking, which is a tremendous problem in this world.
And now let's understand what is happening in the Korean peninsula. Well, an American nuclear submarine arrived in South Korea on Tuesday morning as North Korea celebrated the 85th birthday of its armed forces. The missile-armed USS Michigan is set to join an incoming group of warships led by aircraft carrier Carl Vinson, the aircraft carrier that the US redirected from training in the Pacific towards the Korean peninsula. The Michigan is one of the largest submarines in the United States arsenal, built to carry submarine-launched ballistic missiles and Tomahawk cruise missiles as well. South Korea and the US had feared that Pyongyang could be planning for more tests in its army's anniversary. Instead, North Korea celebrated the event only with a large-scale firing drill. Well, while a US submarine has now arrived in South Korean waters, envoys from the US, Japan and South Korea met in Tokyo to discuss the rising tensions with North Korea. In Tokyo, US Representative for North Korean Policy Joseph Yoon met on Tuesday with his Japanese counterpart Kenji Kanasaugi and Kim Hyong-kyung of South Korea. The meeting was called for the three countries to plan and coordinate their response to any potential action by North Korea. The developments come as Pyongyang marked the 85th anniversary of its founding of its military on Tuesday by conducting a large artillery drill. Meanwhile, the entire US Senate will also be discussing the threat from North Korea in the White House today. Now, the rare briefing on North Korea at the White House will be conducted by Secretary of State Rex Tillerson and Defense Secretary James Mattis and US intelligence chiefs. Tillerson would also chair a special ministerial meeting of the UN Security Council on North Korea on Friday. Pyongyang has, however, denounced Washington for chairing the special UN meet.
미국이 우리를 기어이 압살하기 위해 칼을 뽑아둔 이상 우리는 정의의 뽑아들고 끝까지 결판을 보고야 말 것이며 만능의 보검인 핵무력을 중추로 하는 우리의 강력한 혁명무력으로 미제의 숨통을 끊어놓을 것이다.
That's it from me and this entire Breakfast News team at the moment. But news and updates continue on Rajya Sabha television. Thanks for watching.